Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Game Chat. I'm Chris, and with me today we have Kate.
Hey.
We have Jake.
Hey.
And we have Corey.
Hello.
And today we're doing our big Game of the Year for 2024 episode. So we're going to go through for our top 10 for our Nerd Squad games. So we've worked this out by having these guys send me a list of their top 10, and then using a point system. So with one position one on each person's list, getting 10 points, 2 getting 9 points, and then all the way down to 10 getting 1 point. And worked out Nerd Squad Games top 10 games of the year for 2024. So we're going to jump right in.
Okay.
It's very in-depth. This.
Where are we starting?
Did you make a spreadsheet to do that?
No. Worked it out in my head using maths. Let's hope the
It will be double checked after the fact.
So we're going to go start with number 10, which is Crow Country. And I believe the only list this was on was yours, Corey.
That tracks so hard.
Yeah.
I'll pretend like as soon as it comes on, I'm like, that's on Corey's list.
What do you mean?
I've never seen this before.
You've never heard of Crow Country?
Do you remember what position this was on your list, Corey?
Oh gosh, no. Do you have it down?
I do.
Well,
It was number 5 on your list.
Number 5 on my list. Okay, Crow Country's a great game.
So do you want to
You
tell us
know what?
why you love Crow Country so
You'll
much?
really, everyone here would really enjoy Crow Country. They would. So it's a modern game. It's a brand new game. It's on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC.
Okay.
But it's a PS1 style.
It's giving Resident Evil.
Resident
Yeah.
Evil sort of vibe. So the gist of the story is you're going to investigate a abandoned amusement park.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
And when you get into the amusement park, you find there's a paranormal photographer there who's hurt basically in the entranceway. And you take him out, you put him back into the car, and you're going to find out what's actually happened to that guy and what's happened to the amusement park. And there's all sorts of horrific monsters,
Oh.
Resident Evil style
Like
puzzles.
Silent Hill.
More Resident Evil than
Okay.
Silent Hill.
Okay.
But it takes a lot from a lot of different
Okay.
of those sorts of games. I don't want to say too much because it gets into spoiler territory, and I do think you'd really enjoy this
I
game.
don't know what you have persuaded me. I
You'd
apologise for my initial
everyone here would really enjoy this game. It's
How much is it?
it plays really well. It's an indie game, so it's not expensive. I can tell off the top of my head. It's going to be changing all over the place. It's been out for a little while now. It came out earlier in the year. But this is a really, really good game. The art style is really cool. It looks old, but it plays really modern as well. It's meant to look like that, exactly. It is the point. It's a really, really cool game. Really, really cool game. Harking back to old Resident Evil and Silent Hill 1 sort of stuff. It's really cool. Really good game. I think people would like it a lot. Even though a few of my games probably people haven't played it a lot, but I know. It's good stuff, that game. Good stuff.
However, I forgot to mention we can get ties on this.
Oh, okay. So we've got another 10.
Games can end up with the same scores, so there's going to be more than 10 games on this list.
Nice.
So Stellar Blade was only on my list,
Mhm.
obviously, because it's just my type of game. I think it was
You
the
beat
same position. Yeah,
Number 5. Yeah, it must have been.
So Stellar Blade is an amazing game, super fun game. Came out pretty early on in the year. It's basically if you cross Devil May Cry with a Souls-like game, but also it's that cross with Nier.
Yeah.
So it's a big mix of all them.
Cross block a Japanese dress-up game.
I mean,
I'm not complaining.
pretty much.
She'll have that on soon.
The combat is fantastic in this game. The story pretty interesting. It's very, very much this very similar story to Nier, but still very done really well, and the cinematics of it all and all the presentation is really good. The music is on point.
The music was behind
when you get the boss fights and the music kicks in, it's really cool. I showed you that one, didn't I? And you were like, what?
Yeah.
And some of the boss fights are really, really cool. Highly recommend it to anyone who likes fast action games or even Souls-like games. This is really, really good game, really fun, really stylized, and coming at their first game that they've ever made. Apparently, it's on point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to play this game. I haven't got around to it yet, but I do want to play it.
You really like it.
And it's coming to PC soon, so I'll hold up for PC.
Surprised it hadn't come to PC earlier.
I need to be honest, but yeah, I do want to play
Yeah.
that. I do want to play
Currently a PlayStation exclusive, but
Yeah.
it all comes to everything eventually, I imagine,
Mm.
including Xbox.
I was going to
Probably
say,
at some point.
if the PlayStation exclusive, then we know it's going to end up on the Xbox.
Mm.
Like,
I mean,
the way it's going.
well, that's more the other way around, but yeah, you never know. But yeah, I highly recommend Starblade.
Cool.
So at number 9 we have Metaphor ReFantasia.
Cool.
Now we know whose list this is
Yeah.
going to be. So I believe this was, well, this must have been higher than 5. Was this your number 4?
I can't
This was
remember.
your
I could have
number
sent you this list an hour ago.
This
We sent these lists a while
this
back.
was number 4 on your list. Jack.
Okay.
It's only on your list.
Okay. Yeah, that about track.
Yeah, it does. Although I do want to play this.
It was
Yeah.
really good. The reason that I didn't place it as high as I think a lot of people this year would is because the stuff that I like from Persona, like the social system and stuff, was kind of scaled back a little bit. So it just didn't do as much as a Persona game does in that level. But like all the characters were really well written, the story was quite good, the boss fights were really interesting, the villain was very attractive. So
Fair enough.
Morally grey.
10 out of 10.
I'd love to see it.
Is it a step up from like the Persona games in terms of how it plays and stuff?
No,
Combat-wise,
I thought it was one of the same.
the same, yeah.
I personally think Persona's combat is better,
Okay.
but that's because I don't know whether that's just because I'm used to Persona's combat or
Mhm.
whether it's actually better, but it just seems a bit more. Everything in Metaphor feels like instead of taking a step forward from Persona, they've either stayed at the same level or taken
Or
a step
stripped
back
it
and
back.
simplified it a bit.
Okay.
And I'm
But
just
I feel like
like,
that could be good for some people.
yeah,
Instead of simplifying
but
it.
not for me.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
If my games don't play a spreadsheet, I'm not interested.
So moving on to number 8, we have mouthwashing.
Oh wow! I see.
Number one of yours,
I'm surprised
Corey.
they even made the list. yeah.
So this
yeah.
is your
Number 3 or 4.
3. Yes, 3.
Yeah, number 3. Wow, cool. Okay, so I'm guessing nobody. Have you seen? Do any of you know anything about mouthwashing?
No.
All I've
No,
heard
okay.
is people keep saying I need to play it, and it's they can't tell me much about it.
No, that is kind of suggested to me. So, the basic again, you can't tell too much about it because it's all about what happens in there in the story. But you're on a spaceship, a transport ship, and something goes wrong in space, and you're left abandoned and floating through space with no power and no propulsion to get through. And you're playing as the main character, Jimmy. Your captain, Curly, got horrific chemical burns in the initial event that happened. That's
Is that
what
the
you
guy
see in
on
there.
there?
That's Curly. He's got no arms, no legs,
Oh dear.
and one eye, and
Poor guy.
basically no skin on
How
his
does
entire
it watch his
body.
name?
Well, you have to play the game to find out. But the game is
Sister's baby.
but the game is just about finding out about the crew that you're with, dealing with the fact that you're been left alone in space and what they have to do to survive, and it delves into the psychology of the people that are there, some of the things that they're doing and what they've had to do. It's a really good game. It's very much like it's a PS1 style game, so it's modelled to look like a PlayStation 1 game, but it's still a 3D game. So it's like an old like pixel art-y style, but in like a 3D environment. It's really good. Yeah, really good. Really strong art style. Really strong story. It's the sort of thing you'll play,
How long
and
is
once
it?
you've played it, probably like 3 to 4 hours if you play it in its
Okay.
entirety. So you can get in one good session, and yeah, you'll just be like, you'll be left flabbergasted at the end. Really good game, really good, strong narrative story, really strong narrative. Yeah, good, well worth a watch.
Okay.
Wild game.
Next, we have number 7. We got Persona Reload, Persona 3 Reload. However, what I'm going to go through the ties with this first, and then we'll
Okay.
go through.
Oh.
No. What's
So
the
we
time?
have Pokemon. Then we have Infinity Nikki.
This is the weebiest list.
So far, yes.
Taken over.
I put Infinity Nikki as my number one game of the year, and she's only 7th. I'm devastated.
Jake, where was Persona for you?
I think that might be my
Number one.
number one.
As it's the only game, this is why it's on this so far up,
Oh
basically.
no. Okay.
So,
Okay.
I mean, who wants to go first talking about Persona or Infinity Nikki first?
I'll go
You want to
Persona.
go Persona?
It was really good. I thought it was very faithful to the original game, but it did it in a way that modernized it. So it felt like the combat felt more like Persona 5. Before this, the only way to play 3 on a modern console was the port of the portable version, which is not great to play. They kind of added a bit to the social links because it's an early 2000s game. None of the male companions had any story, basically. Unless you played the female version, which is only in the portable version, which isn't in this, which is a problem with it. But they added story and took story from the portable version to like flesh out the male characters, so you actually got to experience what they were like. They did there was another version of the game that came out years ago that had like an epilogue, and they did that as DLC. It was just good. The only thing I didn't like about it was the lack of the female player character and the kind of, what was the word I'm looking for? The UI for Persona 5 is very stylized.
And this isn't as stylized.
And for 3 originally, like, the battle menu was like a gun because they shoot themselves in the head to get the persona. It was like a gun, and then like you'd flick around to get your menus, and it'd be like different bullet chambers.
Oh, cool.
But in this, it's just like a blue circle, and it's kind of boring.
You think for like a remake they would have made it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's weird. That's a weird choice.
Do you think, because let's be real, like, we know what Persona's like, that like, next year it will be like Persona 3 reloaded, and now we've added the female character.
Nah,
Persona
like,
3
didn't
Reloaded
they do
Golden.
DLC?
No,
Oh, I thought.
people have like modded it.
Oh. Yeah,
I don't think they'll do it, but if they did, it wouldn't surprise me.
Literally, that's
Yeah.
100%.
that's like having a Persona 5 Royal. Like, that's weird.
They would.
But like, I mean,
If people buy it, they'll do it, Chris.
That-
That's how it works.
but like, it's just goes to show Atlas had a good year last year
Mm.
because they brought out this at the start of the year, then Metaphor, and I'm pretty sure they had one of their other games in the middle.
Yeah.
The
Which was
Tenzin one.
Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
one. Like, you play those ones.
It's on my to-do list.
Okay, but like they've had a good year this year
Mm.
because last year they brought out 3 games and
Yeah.
they did relatively well. So they played team.
If they put Dante from Devil May Cry in it, I'll play it again. Because that's the only one I've ever played.
That's right.
Yeah.
Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, we'll do the Pokemon one last because 2 of you have that on your list. But we'll Infinity Nikki, okay? You want to go with that?
Infinity Nikki is a great game. It is
I've
my game
never
of the year.
heard
It's amazing. It is like a dressed up game, but it's cozy. I feel like it consumes me. Like when I'm not playing that game, all I'm doing is thinking about what I'm going to do when I get back on that game. I've even installed it on my mobile, so when I'm on the go, I can even play it on my mobile. It is my life. It's my
It's
entire
even
life.
on my PlayStation, so she can play it on my house.
Literally.
The way I like to describe it, from what I've seen, it's Stellar Blade for cozy gamers. That's my way of looking at it.
There is combat in it, but it's like can you press?
Although
can you
you
press
showed
start or
me
not?
you showed me a battle that you got into the other day that looks like a Dark Souls battle.
Oh yeah, the big boys, yeah, but like the normal enemies you just come into in the game, it's not. The combat's not really
What?
like.
But anyone who doesn't like know what do you do? Like, what's the day to day in Infinity Nikki? What do you do? It's like puzzles and stuff. I know that much.
Yeah, so you get taken to this other world and tasked with finding like this. They have outfits that give them abilities. So, and people who can use magic are called stylists. So Nikki becomes a stylist, and there is a lot of story in it, and it's quite dark to be fair. Because I was like, oh, this is just going to be like cozy, and you get there, and it's like all these people are falling into comas and dying. Will you help us? And you're like, yeah, okay. And then like there's a lot going on, and they literally dropped a huge update yesterday for free. So the story's already moving forward with that. There is like the sort of like the collecting and the grind, but there's a lot of ways that you can bypass it. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of menus, so it can be a bit like overwhelming if you're like new to it. Because I've never played.
I think I was saying it's like a Genshin type, but like being a gacha.
You pull for outfits. You don't have to. I've not spent any real money on it, and I've got so much. Like it is the currency that you use to do the pulls. You receive so much of it. There's like you don't have to spend money. I wouldn't personally spend real money on a game like that, but you wouldn't necessarily have to.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really hard to describe. Like
and there's puzzle rooms in it.
There's
Like
puzzles in it, 'cause
kind of
there's
like
a lot
Zelda puzzle rooms.
there's a lot of collectibles. There is those like puzzles. So the main collectible is like this thing called a Whim Star, and you need it to basically upgrade it's called like the Heart of Infinity, and that's where you get your like new abilities and stuff. So it's like a huge map. There's stuff to collect, side quests, like everything.
Is it like an RPG sort of? In terms of like
Yes.
leveling up and all that.
But you don't necessarily level up. You
Just get
collect.
You get better gear.
You have to like collect resources to make the outfits.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that, and then obviously there's battling with styling, so you'll go up to someone and they'll be like, I want to see a cool outfit, and then you put your little outfit on and you show them and like stuff like that. It's really hard. Like I've spent every day for like the past like 3-4 weeks playing it every single day, and now you're asking me to describe it. I'm like,
it's good. There's like so much in there.
There's so much to do. It's so good. I would 100% recommend.
I tried it and I got overwhelmed. I was like,
But for a game I hadn't heard of until literally like earlier on this year, when Kate was like, "Oh, this looks cool." Like it looks well made. Like I think it's come from.
It looks
Korea,
good. It plays
like,
good.
It looks like there's a lot more to it than like what you see on the surface.
Yeah.
And it looks quite fun. To be fair.
Is. And there is like, it's not like one of them cozy games where the story is just like, I need 4 apples. Like, there is an actual story, the deep lore. There is like some dark, terrible things happening in this world, and you've got to like push forward for it. But then it does have that like, everyone's cute and there's like animals. So yeah, I would recommend. If you like cozy games, I would 100% recommend it. It's amazing. That is my game of the year.
Maybe Beth would like it. Sure,
Maybe. I'll have a look into
I've already cracked Bella on it.
Really?
I've been like, Bella, you need to play it. And she's like, maybe. And then the other day she messaged me and she was like, I've started playing it today.
I mean,
addicted. The only thing is, if you're going to play it on mobile, I'm going to pray for you because it's so hard.
it's on mobile, jeez. Okay.
Like Genshin's on mobile though.
Yeah.
I really struggle with like the movement on mobile. So like, there's some like challenges where you've got to like traverse. I can't do that kind of stuff on the mobile, but just for like generally walking around and talking to people and like collecting your little resources and stuff, that's what I normally do on the mobile. There is actually things that like work better on the mobile, I think, than on the console, and vice versa.
I'm guessing your data transfers more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like seamless.
All
Like,
consoles.
I have no idea because I play it on PlayStation.
It'd be cool if it was on Switch. Because I feel like that'd be
I
very.
don't know if it is on the Switch.
It's probably like Genshin, which is just PlayStation and PC.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And the Switch run it is the issue.
Mm.
Yeah, that's true. Switch 2 might.
Mm.
So, Pokemon TCG. This was on 2 people's lists.
It was me.
Mm.
You
I
don't
like
need to guess whose list you're on, to be fair.
Fun. I like
Is
the
it
Had its
10? Is it 10 on both?
I like
course.
the rush
I was
of
like-
getting the cards without having to
Don't
pay
get rush
money.
it.
Yeah.
I was like, who had it highest? Of course I know who had it highest. Jake had it highest at number 3.
Oh wow. Okay.
I've not played a lot of games this year. Just to prepare that.
And Kate had it at number 9.
Mm.
So, Jake, I mean, both talk about it, to be fair.
I mean, it just gives you a little serotonin rush
Yeah, it's
twice
fun.
a day. Can you
Yeah.
pass?
Can we give a shout out to that card? I love that
Which
Ditto
one?
card.
The Ditto one.
The Dittos that look like they're about to like
Yeah.
do Mortal Kombat. It's the little angry face on the Dittos. I love it.
The battling system, I don't really use it much, but Nathan uses it a lot. And it's just a Pokemon trading card game, but simplified.
I've played a decent amount of it, to be fair. Like I enjoy it, but for me, like on there, like it's not Marvel Snap though. It's not.
It's better than Marvel Snap.
It's not Marvel Snap. It's nowhere near.
You can actually
it's nowhere
get
near the
cards
quality of
for
Marvel
free. You
Snap.
don't have to like buy the cards. From the
True.
store.
There is
So-
there is that. But like for me, it was.
Imagine being a
it
trading
was close
card
to
game and
making my
buying
list, but it didn't make it literally because like I feel like a lot of the UI is very basic. It's not
That's
as.
because it's for children, but
It's not as. No, but like you know how Marvel Snap has that like flashiness
yeah,
when it's like doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they could add a lot more of that kind of stuff to Pokemon
Mm.
TCG just to kind of like make it a bit more appealing to the eye when you're playing it and give you a little bit of a
Yeah.
serotonin boost. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When like shit's
You
happening
can
on the
also
screen.
stop giving me the same 4 cards every day,
There
and
is that,
sometimes duped in the same pack. That's what it also could do.
Like-
That'd be great.
Most of the time when I play, I'm just opening it up and just like, oh, I get my cards for the day. Like
That's what I do. I don't
Yeah.
play
the
the
biggest serotonin boost I play in this game is when I had loads of hourglasses saved up and then you
Mm.
get open 10 packs at the same time, and I was like, but it is a little bit of fun. Like I'll open it every now and then and do it, but I'm not like an everyday person. Are you guys still playing it every day?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I open my cards every single day. That's all I do. I like to get the cards. I like the feeling of like, oh, I've got a new card without having to actually have spent real money. That's why I like it.
I did spend real money because I got the premium pass, so I get an extra pack a day,
Ugh.
Oh.
and I get special bonus
How much
cards.
was the premium pass?
Oh.
$7.99 a month.
I did it. It was like, you can have this for free, and I was like, yeah. And then I got all the free like benefits for it, and then went into the Google. I was like, do not let this renew.
Right, shall we move on to our number 6?
Oh, yeah.
Is this an actual number 6 or is there a tie? Are we going to find out?
It's just the number 6.
Okay, yeah, just number
And
6.
it's Elden Ring, Shadow of the Tree. Now I can't.
Then we can this is me and you.
Who? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who had it highest?
I think I had mine 2 or 3.
Oh yeah, you definitely had it highest because yours is 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to go with this then first? Like, oh,
It's just Elden Ring, but more of the same. Well, not actually more of the same, because Shadow of the Erd Tree just changed some stuff up. So the way the map is laid out, it's even like a smaller area compared to the rest of Elden Ring. It's got a lot of verticality. So you'll have areas on top of other areas and areas beneath other areas and other areas beneath them. And there's a lot more variety in like the biomes of the places that you go to. And there's much more of a stronger visual art style to the smaller area of Shadow of the Erd Tree than there is to the original Elden Ring. And it is big enough to be justified to be called its own game, because it's as big as like a Dark Souls or like Bloodborne or something like that. Just next to it, and just next to Elden Ring, it doesn't look as big because it's not. But Elden Ring is already huge. Just a really really good game. Just really good to see. And you meet really cool new NPCs there. It's basically an entirely new story and entirely new bosses. And
the boss fights in that game.
yeah, really
were
good.
really good.
Really good.
Really
man.
really good. Like the Mesmer fight is just like
Brilliant.
if
Yeah.
you know if there was a category in the game was the best boss fight of the year, that would be.
I think FromSoft have written that every single time.
Pretty
To be
much,
honest,
yeah.
yeah.
The worst boss fight is the last one. I have to say,
Yeah.
like that frustrated me to like my wits end. Like
Mm.
it took me like 4 days to
Did
complete.
you do it before or after patch?
I started it before,
Okay.
And then-
yeah.
finished it after.
It was
the patch.
insane.
It
before
was
patch.
ridiculous. Yeah. All those people that did it before, like
Different
crazy
breed.
people, different breed of people,
Yeah,
literally.
yeah.
But yeah, it's an amazing game. I know it's even though it's an expansion, I feel like that's probably why it's lower down. Like, it's just
Is you blow by the last boss, the guy that you love?
no.
No,
it's
he's
like
got
in
the halfway
North America,
through, yeah.
Oh!
But it's still the coolest boss.
I would
Um,
like to take this opportunity to say that when we were driving down to Manchester Comic Con, it was like a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
And when I tell you that Chris and Sam told me about this man for 2 hours straight.
It was-
That's not
Sam
even
had
an
the lore.
exaggeration.
Sam had the lore about the abyssal snake and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It was
Redon.
bad. No,
No,
that's
it's
Consort Radan's the last. That's a whole thing.
And then we got to the con and there was artwork and I was like, oh my god, it's that guy you've literally just spent 2 hours telling me about. The guy behind the counter was like, what?
Yeah, literally don't get Sam started on.
No, you and that.
Oh yeah, I'm not as bad as Sam though.
There were like 2 12-year-old girls talking about like, I don't know, like who, like Justin Bieber, I don't know, 12-year-old girls.
It's great though.
It is good. It's a really good game. It's like the lore's really good. Like you can't deny it. It's like
the storytelling in
it's
there
so
is
good.
brilliant.
I wish I had.
and a lot of it's like environmental storytelling that you just
Yeah.
kind of like find from like, exploring the world.
Yeah. Insanely detailed.
Skeleton.
But like just having like in the whole just expansion area, like the differences in like different like biomes, I guess, like of the different areas, it's like crazy for such a like it feels like not small but like compact in terms of like it's all like it feels like they've got like the big main areas from Elden Ring, like the quality of them in like a smaller areas, but like they're really really good and really really distinct. Like you go over like one hill and there's like blue flowers everywhere.
It's like you're entering a different world, just going through an arch. It's really cool. It's really really cool.
And what about the worms?
And the worms with the feet.
I love the
The
worms.
little tiny feet.
That would every time we come across one in game, he was like sending me the pictures on the PlayStation. I was like,
But, yeah, the boss fights are really cool. Like, there's some really good standout. Like Mesmer, like Concert Down, even though it was hard. Like you've got like, the hippopotamus fight. Really, the golden hippopotamus. But like, they were just like.
It's not my shit first.
Yeah. Oh, and the sunflower, like that was a really cool boss fight.
Aww.
Oh yeah, the tree avatar.
Yeah. Just really cool, like boss design and level design and stuff. It's really cool, really really good game and worthy of being on a game of the year list.
DLC of the year.
Yeah, 100% DLC of the year.
It is DLC of the year, but not even close.
Like I think it was, where is it on my list?
I'm guessing not 3 or 4.
No, it was number 8 on my list.
Oh,
but
really?
it would have been. That's because there's a lot of games up. But there would have been a lot higher if it wasn't an expansion. If it was a full new game. Like, if this was like normal Elden Ring and it was just part of that, it would have been like number 1 probably. But like, because of the expansion, it wasn't as high for me.
I get that.
It made the list, that's the most important.
Yeah.
I'm devastated about Infinity Key. I'm devastated. Just this.
So,
That's from my list that I know would have no chance.
at number 5, we have.
Oh, God's sake.
Great circle. Not just
Rigged.
I don't even. You went to
I think we
4.
picked 4
I think
for me.
we both had it at 4.
Did we?
Yeah, we did, yeah. This game is
Brilliant.
It's the perfect Indiana Jones game.
It genuinely, honestly, it's like you're stepping into the good Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
Literally, this is the
It's like
best.
Style of Destiny.
No, that's the best.
This is the best Indiana Jones content we've had
Since the 80s.
since I've been born.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
since the original trilogy, and this like literally fits in the middle. It's story like plot wise
Mhm.
in the middle of the second movie and the third movie. But yeah, really really good. You feel like Indiana Jones playing it.
Yeah.
The performance from Troy Baker as Indiana Jones
Brilliant.
is
It's
spot on. Like,
you
you
wouldn't
would not know it was not Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like you heard a bit of it as well, and you were like, "That's pretty
Yeah.
pretty impressive."
I knew that it wasn't because I remember it being announced that he was going to voice him, so I knew it wasn't. But like, and I've never really seen it. I know what Han Solo sounds like, so I was like, oh my god, no, he does sound like him.
Was the circle great?
It
was. Oh yeah,
It's the greatest circle you can
I
imagine.
won't obviously. I'm not going to spoil anything, but like
It's so
the
good.
MacGuffin at the end.
The reveal
like,
is insane.
it's mental, and it's like it's very in fitting with like the first 3 movies.
Yeah, it slots perfectly into the universe. Yeah.
I would have played this if it wasn't for like the combat,
That
because
is my one thing about the game. Where I
the
feel,
puzzles and how they were describing it when they were like announcing it and showing all the trailers and stuff. I was like, oh, the puzzle, that sounds really good. That's like my jam. And then I watched a bit of combat and I was like,
the puzzles are
Not for
amazing.
nah.
Mhm.
Like
No.
figuring out the puzzles and open like tombs to get like stuff, and like it's really cool. Like they literally leave it to you. Like
And
to
there's
figure
tons
shit
of,
out.
there's tons of optional content as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. There's optional like. I suppose you could describe them as tombs.
literally.
Optional tombs and stuff like
That you
optional
raid.
secrets and stuff. But yeah, the combat is. It's it's very. It feels very slapstick like Indiana Jones does, but like it does fit with it. But it is the worst part of the game.
It's very much pushed towards being a stealth game.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You don't have to do it stealth.
You don't have to do it stealth. You can pick up a gun and start shooting people.
Yeah.
But then when you do that, you get a lot of people on you very quickly.
Yes.
Do you know what? I prefer that though. Like, I would literally prefer to stand there and kill every single person in an area, and then no, I can go around.
Yeah, but you're not BJ Blazkowicz. You're Indiana Jones. You will die very quickly.
But this is how I feel like. The combat annoyed me at times, but I'm like, I'm just a bloke though. Like,
You're just a normal dude.
you just gotta you just kind of gotta like, you're in the shoes of Indiana Jones, who has no superpowers. He's just an archaeologist. You gotta deal with the problems how a normal dude would do, and most of that is sneaking around and
bopping people
on the head with literally anything you can find. Like, that's one of the best mechanics in the game in terms of combat, where you can just literally pick up anything, like a broom, and just smack someone. Like, you can pick up anything from the floor and
That's just so brutal.
smack people with
It's
it,
good.
and, distract them and stuff.
Yeah.
It is well impressive. Like, it fits in well with the stories of the originals. It's just a really good Indiana Jones story, and I'm glad that this did well and worked well.
Making more. Yeah.
We don't want any more Indiana Jones movies
Mm.
because let's face it, the last two were fucking awful.
Yeah.
And Harrison Ford is too old now. Like, it's
Should animated ones. Should do that.
agreed, and get Troy Baker to fucking voice the geezer. Like,
do it.
but like, if they just carry on, they apparently want to make this into a trilogy of games. Like, I'm down for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, because
Great.
they can just expand the lore.
This did really well.
The world and lore in Indiana Jones is really cool, and
If you like Indiana Jones, you love this game.
yeah, literally, like I couldn't recommend it more. Like, if you're an Indiana Jones fan, play this game. You need to.
Yeah, really good, really good. Glad it's number 5 on the list.
Yeah.
Cool.
Surprised it got quite as high as it did.
It's like me when I'm looking at my phone when I get a message from my friends.
At the back.
I was the same one.
How do we get Yes!
So at number 4 we have So I believe I was highest on this. I think this is my number 1. So
Was it your Uno?
it was my Uno.
Who else has got after him up?
I think
So
I put it down.
Jake has it at number 7, and Kate has it at number 5.
Mm.
And Corey doesn't have it.
I don't know, I've not played it.
And
Yeah.
this hurts me because this 100% would have been way higher if Corey had played it.
I'm very sure it would be. I'm very sure it would be.
This game is amazing. It's just pure joy and fun, and takes you way back to like the platformer days of like
Until
Mario
you get
and
to
stuff.
The challenge.
challenge.
You know what though? But for me, as someone who likes hard games,
Yeah.
someone who likes hard games, the challenge levels were great for me, and I've gone back and done the extra challenge levels that they've added, and I really enjoyed them. But like, this game is it's pure fun. Like, if you just want to play a pure video game that is just as pure a video game as you can get, and just have fun platforming and just collecting stuff.
Yeah.
Collecting all the bots, like all the different like PlayStation bots. It's like they're really cute, and it's just like they do some fucking deep dives into like PlayStation's history with this game. It's just really fun and really, really cool, and it like having the controller do all the things as you're walking over like glass and stuff.
Yeah. On his little
Like,
tippies. I love that when it makes that noise.
Yeah, it's
Like,
just
on his tippies.
it's the game that uses the controller the most as well in terms of that, and it's super impressive, and it's one of the most polished games I've played this year. I didn't get one bug in this
I
game.
can imagine, yeah.
Like, at all.
So this is putting Nintendo to shame this year.
I mean, this year, yes, 100%. And this is up there with any Mario game, in my opinion.
It's better than Mario.
I was gonna say I would place this.
The main one I'm comparing it to is Mario Odyssey, because I really like that game. But like,
Really love that game.
but this is up there with that. Like, that's how good this game is.
Is that like 6 years old at this point? Mario Odyssey.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that Switch 2, I think it's gonna have.
Yeah.
As long as it comes out of a Mario game,
Be interesting to see if it's better than
the
Mario.
world will be okay. Well, exactly. Yeah.
It's not going to come out with that Mario game because that's all they make.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But yeah, like even though like the boss fights in this game are really fun and really cool. My only one gripe with this game, even though it is my number 1, and even though I've got a gripe with it, that's how good it is everywhere else. Is that like that the like that main enemy, the main boss, like the alien dude. It's just a generic alien dude.
Yeah.
I don't even know his name. Like, I feel like
Goopy goopy.
it could be Goopy Goopy. That's for all I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, going forward, if they, I think they will do more Astrobots, but like
Yeah.
going forward, they need Astrobot to have his like
Proper
Yeah.
opinions.
Bowser or
Yeah.
his Doctor.
Watch robot.
You know what I mean? They need like a proper villain that's not random alien.
Yeah, sure.
But other than that, it's great.
I think what it could have done, and if it did, I think it would be higher up my list. Those missions where you finish the area and then you go to the mission and it's like, oh, this is the God of War world. Like, there should have been more of them.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have just
100%.
been like at the end of every area you get one. They could have literally made pretty much almost every level like one of the games.
Because
They've got so much content. There's so many bots. They could have literally just
I
filmed.
think a lot of it though is like probably getting a license to do that.
Yeah.
Unless they own the actual property.
My only issue with the game really was that the music didn't slap as hard as the tech demo.
So true.
It still claps. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's
Well,
not
that's
as
true.
it's
The
not
tree
as
was
like that.
iconic.
The tree was iconic, but like it's not as good as the tech demo music like that. I've still got that
The sequel,
soundtrack
yeah.
downloaded on my phone. To be fair, but I mean that song is in it, but it's not the same, and
Yeah.
you've had it already. But like those special levels with the special bots, Corey, I imagine you're going to play this. So I won't spoil them.
Yeah, we'll play some.
Kate's already mentioned the one.
Chris is not going to spoil them, but they are all on the key artwork.
No, they're not all. Not all.
For it.
Not all.
Most.
But like Kate said, there's a God of War one. They're very like those levels are very cool and very in keeping with those games. Even like they got remixes of the music, but like in Afterglow style, and they're some of the best songs in the game. Like they're really cool, and the way they change up the style of how you play in those missions is really cool. Some of the powers you get, even like in missions outside of that, like one where you can shrink down to the size of like a little mouse and stuff. Just to
That
kind of
actually
do
reminds
things.
me of my other issue with the game is that they prioritise like they overuse some of
Yeah,
them.
Yeah.
I agree. Like the dog with the backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did overuse some of them, but like, yeah, like if having like a different power like most of the time was really cool, but like they could have like shortened some of the levels or just cut some of the levels out where you're using the same powers. But yeah,
I like the sponge. That's my favourite.
Yeah, when you had to
When you
war-
become the sponge, I love that one. That's my favourite.
Yeah. it's just a fun game to play, and I don't think anyone can play that game and not have a good time.
I need to get to it. I do need to get to it.
You really do. And it's well worth the price as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well worth it.
Yeah.
So at number 3, we have. Nope.
Yes!
It's suspense. Right, at number 3, we have Dragon Age.
Really?
What?
The Railgun.
How did it get so high?
That would be my fault.
Where did you put this, Chris?
I put this.
Numero dos.
I can't remember. This is number 3
Oh.
on my
Okay.
list.
Okay.
I'm not
Shaken
playing.
and stirred.
This was number 5 on Jake's list. And this was number 4 on Kate's list. So it's pretty high on your list anyway.
Yeah, to be fair, I was
Yeah, but I struggled to get to you.
Yeah.
so
Fair enough.
this was one of the games on the
Me and this, I absolutely love this game. Like, you two are like the big Dragon Age fans, but like, just weirdly, I'm higher on this than you guys.
That's because it's a terrible Dragon Age game.
But it's so
Agreed.
good. It's so good.
Is it a better game if you care less about the franchise? Okay.
Yes.
That's
It's
what
a-
I
You
mean.
play this.
It is a fantastic game.
But it's
Yeah,
not
it's
a
a bad
good Dragon
Dragon
Age
Age
game.
game.
Yeah.
I'll play games like that. That's fine.
But like, I really love the story in this game. I really loved. My favorite bit of it is the cast of characters. It's the best cast of characters that a Dragon Age game has had, in my opinion. I fell in love with majority of them, apart from maybe one. Really, really cool characters. Really, really well done. Loved their little side stories. Loved Rook. I know you guys aren't too high on Rook as I am, but I loved his just like funniness, and like he's just a normal dude. Like he's just a fun normal dude who's trying to like make light of the situation and try and make everyone feel better, and he's trying to look after his crew, and I love that. The combat I really, really enjoyed. Obviously, because it has a load of like dodges and parries and stuff for me, and I'm a parry man. I love that shit. And combining all like the powers of your companions to kind of charge up an enemy, so you can do a different power on them that will damage them even better. Like having that combinations and doing all that, I really enjoyed all that shit. So yeah, that's why it's so high on my list, because like I just really enjoyed the story, characters, and combat. So like I have a few gripes with the game, but like the main pillars of the game are there for me. So I really enjoyed it.
We said our piece on our like
We did.
2-hour-long podcast, so we don't need to.
Yeah.
We don't need to.
What's the gist though? You enjoyed it.
Good game, bad Dragon Age game.
Yes,
What did you enjoy?
The combat.
Luke Harness.
Visually.
Not the lack of the rest of the romance, because it was like basically non-existent.
Yeah, that was one of the disappointments.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it. I like the combat.
All my problems with the game come down to the fact that EA treats its writers like crap and doesn't let them write a story.
Yeah.
And then lays them off.
Yeah, there is that.
What do you think about the new art style? Because it's gone away.
I really enjoyed it.
I liked it.
I absolutely loved it. I
Yeah.
don't understand the hate to it. If anything, I think it makes the game look better,
Yeah.
because it's not going for that realistic.
Uncanny Valley area.
It
Yeah.
doesn't. You're not judging it against like real life.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But whereas I feel like it's got an art style. It's not like an art style like that. I don't think that looks great. Like Borderlands, I'm not a big fan of the art style. It's not like as artsy as that.
It's not
you know what I mean?
out there.
Yeah,
Strong.
it's like
as bold.
it's got like a sheen to it, but
I
like,
like it.
I really enjoy it.
I
It's
would-
kind of like a painted style kind of thing.
Yeah.
I really liked the exploration when you're in like the free play.
Yeah.
Yes, and you're like trying to find the chests and stuff. I thought that was
Yeah.
the strongest part of the game. It felt so
Yeah.
good.
Because you literally you can go, and you just venture off the normal path, and you will find something.
Yeah.
Like there's always something to find. Like
And
there's always a reason. You never go down a path and go, oh fuck, there's no point.
Yeah.
Did
no
a really like good job of like when you have to go and kind of like find something. It would always sort of like you would naturally get there. Like it was
Yeah.
never a thing where like when you were playing like the story and doing the side missions, it would never kind of you'd never like not go to there.
Yeah.
So I think if you just kind of like went with the natural pace of the game, it would flow really nicely and you'd still be able to collect everything. I really like that.
Yeah.
But I would agree with you about the cast of characters.
Yeah.
Although I might not like stan most of them, I wouldn't
The most
necessarily say that like
well-rounded
Yeah.
group.
I wouldn't be like I hate that person. I'm never bringing that person with me.
My
Like,
only
having
thing about the
previous-
cast of characters is I wish that there was more conflict within the group.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. But this one I feel feels more like a group of friends than
They wouldn't survive in
like
Dragon Age.
work colleagues like they do in the other games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it was really fun, and I liked like even though there weren't that too many big choices, the choices that were there I enjoyed, and I liked especially
all
I liked,
two of them.
I was gonna say yeah.
but I liked making the choices at the end.
Yeah.
Like, and I've heard some mad shit about how things can go wrong in that end bit. So like the ending of that is the last, like let's say the third act of that game is very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it might lose a little bit in the middle, but like it makes up for it at the end. And I was really vibe with it. Cool.
I've been looking for a new meaty game, so I might jump
You
into
should
this.
play
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's very good.
I don't understand why people hate it so much because it is just
It's-
Mass Effect 2 with a fantasy
it's-
skin and people love Mass Effect 2.
Yes, they do.
Mass Effect.
It's the best one.
This one annoys me because EA are complaining that it hasn't sold well, but like their expectations were ridiculously
That's
high.
every studio.
And it's like
these
it's
days,
a Dragon Age compared to Mass Effect
has never
is niche. Like it's never going to sell ridiculous numbers. Like they expected it to do numbers of like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and all that. It's not a Star Wars game.
Yeah.
That's got that going for it. That's why that sells so well.
That's what the
Dragon
Dragon
Age
Age
is-
is. That's what it'll
This is
be.
it, yeah. But whether we see another Dragon
The
Age now
downvote.
is a different matter.
the down button.
I need to So
I was shocked that that's so high.
So
this list ended up very interesting. So
Different.
at number 2, which will obviously reveal number 1 for most people, I imagine.
Crusader Kings 3.
Unfortunately, that did not make the list. So at number 2, we have Marvel Rivals.
I'm glad to know that the game that should have been Game of the Year
He's
is
the-
our
he's a-
game.
yeah.
So who
Flat.
had this?
It's that, bro. That's it.
Corey, you didn't have this on your list.
I didn't. I played it, but I didn't have it on my list. No. No, I didn't.
So Jake had it at number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I've not played much of it as well.
Kate-
If I played more, I might have.
Kate had it at number 3,
And you had it as.
and I had it at number 6.
Oh.
So Jake has it the person with the highest. Do you want to?
And it is number 2, so.
Yeah.
I would have it at number 1 if it was. If this was the style of game that I was most into, this would probably be my game.
If
of the
this
year.
was an RPG.
So I only really play it when I've got like dailies and stuff to do.
Yeah.
But I really love it. Like, it's fun. I've never had a game where I'm like, oh, come on, it needs to end now. Like, all the characters, I think it's got a well-rounded roster.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
started out with a very big roster that's just going to expand.
Some would say too big.
Everyone's kind of, yeah. But, like, everyone feels different enough.
Yeah.
And, like, I think it's monetized fairly well.
Yeah.
I don't really have a bad thing to say about it.
I really like this because obviously I was so in deep on Overwatch. I was addicted to Overwatch 1. I'd play that game every single day. And then when Overwatch 2 came out, well, let's not talk about that. So I needed something to like fill that void, and this is so good. And I agree, like, when you get the challenges and it's like, players, this person, or this person, and you think, oh my god, I don't want to play as these people, I don't know. And then you play as them and you're like, well, that feels nice,
Do
actually.
me.
Quite good. I think it's very, like, I think it's quite forgiving for people who might not necessarily play these kind of games. And like you said, there's so many different people that do so many different things.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's got that, like, in Overwatch, if you played a certain character, you could carry the game, and your ult could like clinch the game,
Yeah.
and you knew you would, if you did this at the right time, you pulled it off. You knew you were going to
like,
win.
You throw a diva on the point, everyone's dead. Like,
I don't think like this game
not in this.
doesn't really have anything like that. But that's not a bad thing because it's like everyone actually
Contribute.
has something
Yeah.
to do, and it doesn't put import. Like, it's not like, oh, what if we don't? If someone doesn't pick this one character, we're not going to win.
Yeah.
It doesn't like force people to lock in
Yeah.
a certain character.
So the problem with Overwatch is going the opposite direction, where it's if you have just a really bad player playing the game.
Even one
basically
bad
lost.
player could make your team lose.
Yeah, you basically lost if you have a scrub on your team.
Yeah. I mean, even when we went into comp, I expected it to get harder, but I feel like it didn't.
No.
But maybe that's because it's new. I am impressed with the roster. I do think it's slightly too many characters because I literally haven't played everyone yet. But like, maybe that's a good thing, really. Like, but they keep adding more, and it's Marvel. They're never going to run out of characters to add. So like, it's
Can't wait to
impressive.
play as Duke.
It's impressive that they could just literally add the most like random characters. Like, I mean, they got Jeff the Shark. Who would have heard of Jeff? You would have.
Well, people
But
thought they
most
were
people would
made
not have heard
for
of Jeff
this
the
game.
Shark.
People are, why have they just made up a little shark? That's such an industry playing character. It's like, it's from the Deadpool comics. Read a comic.
But like, the art style of this game, I really enjoy. It looks really nice. It plays very similar to Overwatch, but like I feel you're a lot more involved.
It's just different enough.
It's just different enough. I really like the team ups with the
Yeah.
characters, giving them extra powers when
Yeah.
when you say you've got a Magneto and a Wanda, they team up and it gives Magneto an extra like ability.
I think that's gone now. I think because
no, it's still there.
every season
It's
it
still there.
changes.
It's just not buff.
I was going to
Yeah,
say, oh, okay.
I mean,
It
like,
hasn't got the
it's
yellow
not
buff. Okay.
But like you can have Rocket Raccoon and Bucky or Punisher.
Yeah.
And their guns shoot faster when he puts some certain ability up and stuff. Like, it just, those kind of things I feel can change the game more
Than the ults.
than the ults do.
Mm.
The ults are cool, but like I feel like with most ults that I use, you're only getting 2 to 3 kills. You're not getting the whole team most of the time, and you're very lucky.
Yeah,
if
when you
do-
pop one
you're very
at the
lucky, yeah.
right moment,
That's
you
what I'm saying.
wipe out the
Even
whole
with
team. You're like,
Literally.
Even with that one, there's plenty of chance for anyone to get out of the fucking way.
Yeah.
Because you
and
hear
you
it,
like, there's so many ways you can stun her.
Yeah, yeah. Like, there's a lot of counters. Everyone else seems to have a counter, which is quite balanced. It's surprisingly balanced
For how many
for
characters,
how many characters there
and
are.
how different every
How
single
early the
character
game
is,
Yeah,
it is very well balanced. But also having a big roster though, it's like,
there's no meta necessarily. There is, but
I was saying, like, it's more like if you load into a game and someone, like, you're like, oh, I'm going to play this character, and someone else takes it before you.
you
There's
got
so
plenty of
many other options.
Yeah.
And I really like playing healer.
Yeah.
Now that would never be me in Overwatch. I would not want to play a healer. But I actually really like playing a healer in Marvel Rivals, and I think the healers in Marvel Rival have got really good like survivability.
Yeah.
Like you're not just going to walk out onto the point and get like destroyed. Like you can look after yourself and also heal your team. Whereas I don't. Well, the very limited bits I played in Overwatch, I don't really think that was the game. Like you see a Mercy, like can I?
Yeah.
Like
I mean, you still get that in this, but like where people like will aim for the healers. But I feel like, you definitely have more survivability to get out of the way or whatever. Or
They
have,
just
like,
need to add a good tank.
the
that's
the
the
tanks
one.
are
Yeah.
maybe we're just not playing them well. Like I'm never.
And by that I mean Emma Frost.
She attacked.
Yeah.
She
So
turns
did
the
the
dog.
Oh yeah, I guess. That tracks. There's some characters in this though where I'm like they've ended up in like
A weird category.
attack,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I feel Wolverine should be a tank, like, or like you know what I mean. Like there's certain characters that like I feel should be like tanks but not, or healers but not.
Wanda, in every other game Wanda has been in, she would have been like a healer essentially because she's buffs and debuffs in every other game.
But then everyone saw more or less a madness and they're like attack.
The only thing, like, I think if this game had a story mode, like, you know, like the one that...
Like Overwatch promised.
Yeah. Like Overwatch promised us for years and years and years and then said no. If this game had a story mode like that, it would
It would be the perfect game.
literally...
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it actually... Like, I know
And
there
wouldn't be
is, like,
surprised, yeah.
story in it, essentially. But, like, I mean, cutscenes, not reading a block of text. Like, if it actually gets, like, a proper, like, story mode, and even if you could play it, like, multiplayer, it would be top tier.
But even like that, even in this as well, the seasonal content, like the Jeff the Shark Christmas
Yeah.
mode they added, like basically
That was cute.
it was Splatoon, where you had to shoot the ball and stuff. But it was fun. It was like a fun little mode, and you know they've got like they've just added basically Rocket League.
I tried that earlier.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the modes of all time.
But yeah, you know what though? Me and Kate platinum Lucio Ball in
Yeah.
Overwatch.
Yes,
So,
play
yeah.
and either Black Widow, Iron Fist, or Star Lord, and that should tell you everything you need to.
Oh,
know.
no.
Well, we'll see how it is. I'll give it a go. But just like having all those seasonal, they're keeping up with the content. Is what I'm saying, basically. And they're adding regular characters, even though they've got a massive roster. And
The battle passes, like,
this
well
already,
supported.
Yeah.
for me, feels more supported than Overwatch 2 was.
Yeah.
And not having heroes locked behind battle passes and
Yeah.
stuff like Overwatch 2 did. I know it doesn't have any more, but that's what soured me on Overwatch 2 at the start. Like having everyone free to play, obviously you have to unlock skins and stuff.
Yeah.
It might take a little bit of a while, but to be fair, we haven't been playing the game that long and I've unlocked the skin that I wanted completely for free without paying any money. So I can't complain there. It is doable to unlock the skins. And some of the skins are really cool as well.
Yeah.
And they've got the movie skins in there as well for those people. Like, it's cool. It's very cool. It's very well done. And when I first saw this and I saw that NetEase were making it, I was like, this looks very mobile game.
Yeah.
I was concerned. But now I'm like, they did well.
Yeah.
They did well. I'm well impressed. So at number 1,
Well,
we
let
all
me
know
think.
this is going to be now.
Let me wonder. Oh, what?
Silent Hill 2.
Flapped. Pure flapped.
Now, who had this the highest on the? I know Corey had it at number 1.
This is my number one, yeah.
I had it at number 1, and then I had to change
And then you let the what? What?
She was so gagged.
Oh my god!
it. I'm sorry.
However, Corey, that allowed Pro Country and Stellar Blade to enter the mix.
Did it?
So,
Do you know what? I've got to speak about Crow Country.
Apologise to me.
I was happy when she made the change. She was like, it lets me talk about Stellar Blade.
Literally, I was like, Infinity Nikki has consumed me. Like, that's all I think about. When I'm not playing it, I'm like, I'm strutting. I'm like, when I go, I'm going to do this,
Oh
and
goodness.
I'm like, just based on that, it has to be my game of the year. As much as I love this.
It's just 2 of mine and 2 of yours as well.
Gosh.
Corey, you got one.
This number one. It is my favourite game of the year, by a long distance. The genre, the survival horror genre, has been up and up for the last few years. It's been getting better and better. It's been having a renaissance compared to what it's been for the last 10 plus years. And this is like tipping that off. I think I prefer this to the Resident Evil 4 remake.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, that's only because I'm a purist for the OG.
Yeah. And this tells the same story as the original game, but does it so well. It doesn't invalidate the original game, which is still its own separate thing, but it's just it's so good. And the best part about this game is how much of a disappointment it wasn't.
So true.
We were in with so low
The expectations were low, and then I got half an hour in. I was like, I can feel it. Do I let myself feel these things? and you play more and more, it just got better and better. And yeah, it's just a fantastic remake of Silent Hill 2, and Bluebird should really, really be proud of this game.
Yeah.
As I said, they're finished with making shitty games.
Well said. Well
I mean, you never thought this would be as high as up your list as it did.
No, just absolutely fantastic game.
Like, Kate was, well,
Now let me see, I'm a big hater. No, like, when they're like, we're going to remake it, I was like, oh yeah, great, it's my favourite Silent Hill. Then Bloomer Team's going to remake it, and I was like,
Oh no.
they did a good job, but everything that made me hate the medium, all the bugs, all the issues I had with it, I experienced in this game. So I'm still not willing to think that they're
completely
a
redeemed.
changed man. So like, but no, it was very, very good. I really enjoyed it. I love the puzzles. It like you say, like it, and how it changed from the original game. It was good. It wasn't like, oh, what did they change that for?
Yeah.
Like,
But then I had lots of nods to the original game as well.
and all the little like postcards you could find,
Yeah,
and all the little bits.
yeah.
Yeah, it was very, very good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Having not played the original, like, this game hit hard for me. Like, story-wise.
It's the ghosts.
Story-wise, this story is going to stick with me for a while.
Mhm.
Like, that's why it's so high on my list, because I was trying to think whether I put it at number one or not, but like the story just hit hard for me. Like it was a very human, emotional story. Like
It's a lot of, even though it's a lot of crazy stuff happening, it is a very base human story.
100%. Just like I loved, like this game had me on edge all the way through. Like it's like I can play the Resident Evil remakes, and they're not scary. They're just kind of actiony based, but like even though like 2 was meant to be scary, it just didn't really scare me. It had moments, but like throughout this game, does a very good job of just building tension and just keeping it at a level where you're just always on edge.
So, as someone that hadn't played the original game, obviously me and Kate knew exactly what was going on, what was going to happen. Did you know what the story beats of the game were? Because obviously it's been out for a long time, so you knew nothing.
I knew.
So everything was new to you.
Literally, like all the big reveals I knew.
So what did you think when you found out what actually happened?
It hit hard. Like I was like, I was crying when I was at the end of that game. I was like, that's devastating. Like, and you feel for all the characters pretty much. Like, you understand where all the characters come from in their positions in that story, and it's gonna stick with me for a while. This game, like this story, because it's impressive. Like
Very good.
it's very,
very good.
well written. Gameplay wise, it's really fun as well.
The puzzles were really good.
Puzzles were good. The combat, I enjoyed the combat in the game. Like it was more combat-y than the original game, but I still don't think I took it too far. And depending on the playstyle of these games, I ended up with like a small arsenal by the end of the game.
Yeah.
So I'm open on your experience.
The only enemies I shot were the nurses,
Yeah.
and then I'd like hit them.
Yeah.
But other than that, every enemy I was like, crowbar.
Every design in the game, everything just makes you feel uncomfortable as well.
Yeah.
Like they're all just fucking little freaks.
I like the little weird ones. It's got a lot of
Like, the ones that are like sucking onto the fucking vagina hands. Like it's cursed. It's so like it just freaks you out. But that's not the whole point. Like and it worked on me. Music as well, like all the way through, really impressive. Really fit the tone of the
Set
game.
tone really well.
This
game shit me up though. This game is genuinely scary.
100%. Like, it's very rare I play a genuinely scary game, and like this is probably the scariest game I've played.
Could never be. I literally played this game on my own in an empty house because you were on nights or whatever you were on, and I literally played it on my own in the dark. And then when I finished, I'm like, I'm going to bed now.
Yeah.
And then like he'd come home and I'd hear him playing it, and all I'd hear is, oh. And then when I knew Pyramid Head was coming, and I was like sitting there waiting, I was like, shoot off. And then
You know what though? But the big boss of the game, Pyramid Head, is the least scariest out of all of them. And I don't know whether that's because I played Astrobot before and he was in that as a little
The little tiny
cheeky version.
chibi.
Maybe that just made me like.
I think the
You
media.
desensitized.
The problem is that general media has ruined your through my head as well.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
everything all over the place. But playing it like in the original game you first see him, you're like, what's going on here? But now he's being like so many things that are even Silent Hill.
Yeah. Pretty sure he's doing an advert.
And he's been in a Silent Hill that he had no business being in as well.
Yeah.
So that's not
Yeah.
something like that, but still. But then, like, I think, don't you think, because, like, you play the original, and you get to, like, a certain bit, like, say, like, the stairs, and you're like,
You're waiting for it.
I'm going to have to flip him
And it doesn't happen.
I'm going to have to flip him in here, and it was so hard, because it's such a small
So
area.
it
And
puts
then
you on edge
when
because
you
you
get
don't
in
know.
there, and he doesn't appear, you're like, oh, and then you're like, but if he's
But where
not
is
here,
Where is it?
where is he?
Yeah.
And, like, little stuff like that, like, on the roof of the hospital.
That shit me up. That
You
did.
go up and you're like, okay, I know what's going to happen. Done this before. I was like 7. It's okay. And you get up there, and then he's not here, and you're like, oh. And then you go in that little door, and then when you open the door, he's there.
And you see him before it goes to the cutscene,
Yeah.
and that made me jump. Whoa! That made me big jump.
I was like,
that was great.
oh,
They
no.
did that really well.
Especially when you go in the room, that little tiny room, and
Yeah.
it's so small, and you're like, if Pyramid Kid gets in this room,
Oh, fuck.
I am dead.
Oh, it's great. It's
It was-
good.
it was
Yeah,
very, very good.
It's really good. And they kept all the original the bosses and stuff. Oh, sorry guys. Kept all the original bosses and stuff, but I changed them up and changed up how they worked and things, and yeah, it's really fun. Like when you're killing the ceiling dicky things, and then it comes down and starts stacking. Yeah, it's like, oh shit, it's got real.
My one issue with this game was some of the boss fights towards the end, like the last boss fight. I was a bit disappointed with,
Yeah.
but like.
But even that was very different. Like in the
Yeah.
original game, that boss fight is nothing. Like nothing
No.
happens there really.
You know, I mean, like, they drop, you drop through, and there's
Yeah.
that whole, like,
That's not
change.
like that.
That's not there.
That's
No,
not
they'll
like
still change it. But yeah, I don't know. Just felt a bit. I feel like we'd already had a boss in a cage with the. You know what I mean?
Well, it was meant to be
Wherever
like
it-
a
yeah.
similar sort of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
But yeah, no. Other than that, like obviously it's 2 on my list, so it was like very high
Yeah.
and very impressive.
And
And I'm glad it's that game of the year.
do you know what? Like, I really thought was really good, because like I like the puzzles and stuff,
Yeah.
and I like looking everywhere. I feel like it. One of the most impressive things to me was it did a really good job of like, it would be like, oh, this door's locked, and you've got to go all the way over here, but it sort of had a good sort of way of kind of taking you where you needed to go and then bringing you exactly straight back to what like where you needed the item for, without you being like,
I've got a walk.
oh, where was it?
Track
Like,
all
what
that way.
happened? Like, it just sort of it led you to where you needed to be in a really like sort of way that wasn't like, open this door and you're gonna drop through like to the floor where you need to be, like other games probably would. You didn't. I didn't feel like it was like holding my hand, but at the same time, it kind of it allowed
Really
it.
that last
It
bit.
allowed
Really
it to
naturally,
be,
yeah.
to be like smooth. So I never felt like I was like, oh, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah, I never felt a lot like a lot of these games that try and go for this style. They'll just leave you wondering for a bit, and you'll feel lost. But this, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you did a
even
good
in the
job.
fog, I didn't feel.
Without like explicitly saying
Yeah.
this is what you need to do.
Yeah, exactly.
It kind of like, I don't know, like we played it before, so we kind of knew.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Did you feel?
No, I never felt lost. Even in the fog, when you think you would get lost,
Yeah.
you kind of like ushered into areas from
Mhm,
through
mhm.
noise or
Yeah.
lights or whatever. It was very well done, but subtle.
Yeah.
I played like a little bit of the fog part, and my only problem with it was, and it's not a fault with the game, is that my attention span is so bad that I couldn't remember what I'd done. And I was like, where do I need to go? It's something to do with what I just did. What have I even just done? So I then watched Nathan.
Nathan enjoying it.
No.
No.
Really?
It was like, Nathan's opinion of it is that it's too art house.
Okay.
It's like, it's just trying to be so like edgy, and it just
I
doesn't.
mean, it is very edgy.
But Nathan's also an Alan Wake denier. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Really? Oh wow, the
I mean,
the
like-
opinion goes out the
Yeah, I
window.
only played the first one.
I love Nathan.
Oh,
I would take a
Lord.
bullet for Nathan. But when he looked at me and he was like, Alan Wake 2 just wasn't good, I was like,
What did you play to?
No, it's not played to.
oh, was it number 1? He was like, it wasn't good, and I'm not going to play 2. And I was like,
It's
No,
wrong.
no.
I don't think it can't be wrong, but that is an incorrect.
Do you want to know something else that's going to make you
Oh no, you can
consider it?
Go on.
He played Silent Hill without the sound on because he found the
Ah!
sound irritating.
Ah! No!
So he played the whole game listening to
Oh
my
my
Hollywood playlist.
lord!
No wonder we didn't get the vibe.
Oh my lord!
Jesus.
I just
Who was chasing him down to
Honest.
disco music.
When I- I'm gonna turn off.
That's just how you ruin an experience for yourself right there. Gee.
Less intimidating.
Oh,
when
Well,
you
yeah, you could say
I
that,
think
yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, but
When I
that's the
played
same.
it, I did have my music.
No.
I didn't turn their music off. I just had a little bit of Megan going in the background.
I was playing with full-on 3D sound headphones.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best way to do it.
Only way.
That's how you get immersed. No, when you weren't scared, when you got a little bit of a
It
bop in the
was-
background.
I could have played it with full headphones on. I'm just broken inside. Like, I'd play that game on my own in the dark with headphones on and nothing could get me. And then Nathan would be like, "Do you want to play Minecraft?" And then I'd hear a mob off the side and I'd start crying like it just. When a game's meant to be scary, I'm ready for it. I know it. When there's like a jump scare in like a kids movie, like the jump scare in Infinity War, when that guy like stabs Vision, I nearly fell off my chair in the cinema. And yeah, I'd go and watch a horror film and I'd just sit there like, cool. When I know it's coming, it doesn't get me. But when it's like a throw-in, I'm like.
So yeah, Silent Hill 2. Nerd Squad game of the year.
Good. Well
It
deserved.
should have been normal game. What one game of the year? I can't even
Afterbot.
remember. Oh,
So I mean, I'm biased. I had it on number one. So,
yeah.
but I'm glad it's not on the list, and I do feel like it might have won if Corey had played it.
Yeah, well.
But you know. But yeah, just to let you know how close the list was
Oh.
in certain areas.
Go on.
So going from number 10 all the way to number 1, Crow Country and Celeblade both had 6 at number 10, 6 points. Metaphor had 7 points at number 9. Mouthwash had 8 points at number 8. Infinity Nikki, Persona 3 and Pokemon TCG all had 10 points at number 7.
Recount.
Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree had 12 points at number 6. Indiana Jones had 14 points at number 5. And then there's the biggest jump. Astrobot had 20 points at number 4. Dragon Age had 21 points at number 3. Marvel Rivals had 22 points
Wow.
at number 2. And Silent Hill 2 had 28 points.
Yeah, of course.
So this is a big jump to number 1. So it wasn't even close for number 1.
Yeah.
I was glad we didn't end up with a tie at number 1. So
Yeah.
we'd have to fight it out.
Yeah.
What purposes for it?
But yeah, that was our game of the year for 2024.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's
Which
good.
we'll do again at the end. Start of 2026 for the end of 2025.
Yeah. Yeah. What's coming out this year? Impromptu, but like, what's
GTA, apparently.
what is everyone's most look forward?
Ghost of
Yeah.
the
Yeah, Ghost. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I forgot that was coming out this year. Yeah.
But you're probably going to be like 3D Mario.
Yeah, haven't announced, so I don't know. So I can't choose anything. But if they do bring out, if they bring out Odyssey 2, basically, probably will be mine, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
it'll be high for me if it comes. We'll see.
So
Any big JRPGs?
Oh, do you know what? I was like,
I know.
he's going to go both of us and he's going to try and ask you in the nicest way possible. Have you got any weird games?
The only game coming out this year that I'm excited for that I know has a concrete release date is Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, you know what? I've heard good things
Sure
now.
it is.
I've heard good things now
Yeah.
that people have had their hands on it.
Everything
Pretty
else
cool.
I'm not getting excited for because it's going to get pushed back like everything always gets pushed back. So
Yeah. Is Shadow more like Valhalla, where it's big and open world, or is it it's more than Mirage, yeah?
Yeah.
Because Mirage is quite condensed, isn't it?
I never played Mirage, but I heard it was
I've
good.
not played it, but I've heard something. Like the old
I've
ones.
heard it blends both quite
Okay.
well,
Okay.
like both styles.
Okay. I think Valhalla was too big.
But it's also got a
Oh,
customizable
look,
place.
Try to see it's even bigger.
Yeah.
You make a little village.
That's what I meant. I meant Odyssey, sorry.
I'm not going to play the game, I'm just going to make the village.
And you got the other like Animal Crossing colour thing, don't you? In it?
Oh my gosh. You could be Tom Nook. Got away your shirt when you play it.
But
I
yeah.
can't think of anything else.
I don't think there's much.
There's loads.
GTA, if it comes.
Yeah.
I don't think it will. I think it's going to get delayed.
That will-
26, you reckon?
Do you think that will just win Game of the Year?
If it comes out, yes.
Yeah.
Whatever year GTA 6 comes out,
Win.
Yeah. It's not
will win
all
Game of the Year. Unless, like, I mean, if it comes out this year and we do get 3D Mario,
Mm.
that's a big contender.
Mm.
But
Imagine.
I don't know. I would put money on GTA 6 winning. if
GTA,
it
yeah.
comes out.
It has. Every year GTA has come out, it's always been going, yeah.
Now, how high it will be up our list is
Yeah,
different.
exactly. But just I'm sure like, influence on like the genre of
I don't know.
video games as a whole.
If it's like this year and only like 3 games come out that I play,
True,
we'll
true.
see.
There's lots of like rumour, speculation and everything happening with like Resident Evil, but I doubt anything cool with it. Actually, hang on, is it the 30th anniversary this year?
No. Might be.
Maybe.
There is rumours of Resi games floating about.
9 and remake of 1 are the main ones that are going around right now.
And 6.
A remake of one wouldn't
remake.
surprise. I'm sure it's coming up to an anniversary for one, so that wouldn't surprise me. And I feel like if they remake it, it wouldn't take them a long time because it's not a very big game.
Yeah.
No. They should remake one and base it on the remake
Yeah.
of one that came out on GameCube because that was really, really good. So if they take a bunch of snippets from that,
They should
do well.
blend Zero into it as well.
And they're going to put Barry in it. I'm sick of this Barry eraser.
I mean, for me this year, there's a lot of my types of games coming out this year. There's a lot of action games like there's Phantom Blade Zero, there's Wu Chang, there's like many other like high action parry dodge games like that are coming. So that could probably need to make up the most of my list, to be honest. Ninja Gaiden 4 at the end of the year that looks really, really good.
yeah,
Doom. Dark Ages.
Dark
that
Ages
looks
does look really
so
good.
fucking good.
Yeah, good.
My Xbox might actually have a good year this year.
Yeah.
Fable might come out.
No.
It's
No,
apparently
it's
set for this year, and they've
They've been
announced
telling me
all the
that
games for
since
this.
it's the 10th anniversary of the new Fable game coming out, so
So you never know. That'll be on your top of the list if it
Didn't-
comes
I
out.
don't know.
They announced that at the first E3 we ever watched together at your house.
They announced that, and then I bought an Xbox One.
That you should have waited, man.
It was, yeah, because that was all with the announced PlayStation 4, and we were like, oh, this is the best E3 ever, and that was like literally after we just became friends.
Yeah.
That's how long we've been waiting.
We'll get it eventually, guys.
Oh my god.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Well done, Silent Hill 2.
Well done, yeah.
Well
Well deserved.
done, Chris, for your PowerPoint.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's very
That was
nice.
fun. But yeah, let us know what your game of the year for 2024 was, and whether you agree with our list or not. And we'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe. Bye, guys.
Bye.
They-